Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Satisfactory. In the last episode, we finished setting up our first full train depot by adding bauxite and caterium. And in this episode, we're going to set up a second train depot, an outpost for crystal, transport the crystal back to the base, and then set up some aluminum processing with the bauxite and the crystal. And we'll need to find a source of copper ingots as well. So first thing first, we will check the hard drive. Okay, excellent. Alternate blueprint turbo motor. This is one of the crucial recipes we wanted. This will increase the efficiency of producing turbo motors by about 50%. Changes the requirements from from 4 motors, 40 rubber, 2 radio control units, and 4 heat sinks to the much more manageable 8 motors, 4 radio control units, 8 stators, and 8 AI limiters. So much less rubber because you need rubber for each heatsink quite a bit. So this recipe will really decrease the amount of rubber required, though it will require steel stators. But that shouldn't be a problem, and I think the increase in efficiency will be well worth it. Let's pop one of our hard drives in. 3 to go. We're really hoping to get the alternate blueprint for radio control units. Between episodes, I unlocked another hard drive and was lucky enough to get the inflated pocket dimension. So we'll unlock this now. I also handcrafted quite a few of the Alclad aluminum sheets to use for the Mark V conveyor belts. They are not fun to handcraft, not at all. So it'll be nice to set up the automation for that. On the right side of the screen, you can see that I have the ingredients queued up for 8 Mark III miners. And I've already made the hardest component by far, the turbo motors. Just need to collect a few steel pipes. Okay. Okay. It's kind of a rough unlock. We'll tackle that later. We've got quite a bit of inventory space now. So in preparation for this episode, I ran out to the location for our upcoming crystal outpost, and I went ahead and I built the train depot. I've laid most of the track. I ran the power out there, and I put the receiving train depot down near our factory. It's visible right there. Base Depot G. Now we'll just connect this rail to this existing line. And you can see when you connect the two rails, a switch is automatically placed. This can be changed by hitting E. Whenever you have the AI routes set up, the train will automatically choose which split to take. When you're driving the train manually, you'll want to use the switch yourself manually. So let's get in the train and we'll drive it manually as far as we can. Probably need to flip the switch up here, or even connect the rail. I'm not sure that I've laid the connection here. It's coming up. One thing, when trains share a single rail, they will clip through each other without doing any damage to the train. So here comes the second train. I'm hoping eventually they correct that so that trains will either collide or will apply the brakes. Okay. Now you can see the switch is to the left. So if I were to hop into the train now, it would take the left branch. I want to toggle that to the right. Hop out. Now we'll set up the crystal miners. And the second one. Get back up to speaking now. Now each of these need a best by left or right. Each of these need a Mark IV belt. We'll go to the right. not be too far. Yeah. Okay. Need to think about the best way to avoid clipping on that rail. We also need to power our miners. What's up with that waterfall? It just stops midair. I'm thinking we'll use one of these belts for silica, and we'll convert the others into crystals. Silica is used for making the aluminum ingots, and the crystals are used for crystal oscillators. Is it tall enough? We'll see. That looks tall enough. We'll put the crystals in the first two containers. Too close. Okay. This should work. Upper belt for this freight container. Excellent. Now these are set up to load by default. So we'll have this station or this train pull forward and dock in a second once they've had a chance to fill the containers a little bit. Okay, good enough for now. So we can see locomotive F and G on our timetable because the rails are connected. They have shared rails. We're going to say the next stop is 2 Crystal. Autopilot on. It won't update until you close the timetable. And then we'll add the stop base depot G. That's really all that you need to set up a train UI. Let's take the ride back. Unable to reach next stop. Okay. So that tells us that the rails are not complete. We'll turn autopilot off and drive manually as far as we can. Oh yeah, plenty of room under those belts. Oh, okay. Well, we've found the problem. or at least a problem. There could definitely be more than one here. Let's grab our rails. We're connecting it. There we go. This is a very curvy path. Pretty sure they're adding, or at least modifying, the track lane feature to eliminate a lot of this terrain clipping. And either the next patch or subsequent patch. Alright. Oh. Brakes, 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 brakes. This is the wrong branch. And if collision were a thing, we would have just taken out locomotive F. So one nice thing about trains, as opposed to other vehicles, is that when you're inside a train, you don't suffer any effects of nearby toxic gas. Now we'll turn the automatic pilot back on. The locomotive G. And off to the side here, I've already set up the belts to unload. Now, while when we're at the mega factory stage, this area will be used for more train rails. That didn't unload. Oh, okay. Another mistake. All of these are set to load by default, and these should be set to unload. Okay. So while this area will be used for more train stations when we transition to a mega factory, right now it's a really ideal space for automating aluminum ingots and Alclad aluminum sheets. Alclad. So let's take a look at what that looks like. The first step is combining. No, I guess the first step is converting some of this incoming crystal into silica. And that would happen, I believe that happens in a constructor. Let's take a look. Silica. Okay. So 30 per minute. That belt has 480 per minute. I don't think we need to go all out and set up 16, but we could do, and even half, that's going to be a lot, but we've got the power, why not do it? Why not go for it? So we'll set up 16 or 8, I guess. We'll set up 8. Let's do this right. Move out here a little bit. Let's get a merger. And we'll output to the north. Now 4 more. Those are not aligned. What's wrong? Yeah, that's what's wrong. Okay. That's step 1. Crystal to silica. Mark III conveyor belts will be fine for this. Let's see what rate they output at. 45 per minute, so that's 90. Oh, they may not be fine. 180. That'd be 360. We need to use the Mark IV belts for these intermerger belts. We can use the Mark IIIs from from constructor to merger. But then we'll use Mark IVs between the mergers. Let's hook these up with crystal. We'll just use splitters. Let me just select recipes in all of these. And we'll grab a line of crystal. Good enough. Okay, are they all green? They are. Okay, producing crystal. The next step is to combine the silica. Oh, that's not really fast. The silica with bauxite ore to make the aluminum ingots. That should be done in a foundry. Let's see. This is facing the wrong direction. Yeah, aluminum ingots, great. We want some space because we have 2 lines coming in here. That's enough though. Now let's check out the ratios. Wow, 90 silica per minute. So 8 constructors of silica will be able to support 4 foundries producing aluminum ingots. And we need 105 bauxite per minute. That's 4 times 5 would be 420. So yeah, our one pure bauxite node is producing 480, so that's fine. And there's no other use for bauxite ore at the present than aluminum ingots, so we don't need to worry about using up most of our supply. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go and grab a few more encased industrial beams. And while we're doing that, let's think about the next part of this production, the final part, which is combining the aluminum ingots with copper ingots to make the Alclad aluminum sheets. So up to this point in this game, we've only tapped one copper node, the pure copper node right next to our base. And its supplies is right now being 100% fully used in the making of wire and cable, but it's only using a Mark II miner. So we can replace that Mark II miner with a Mark III and double our supply of copper ore. That seems like by far the easiest fix, rather than exploring and finding another copper node and then setting up a rail station to bring that ore to our factory. Oh. I came up here for encased industrial beams, but I guess my subconscious is taking us to the MAM for that hard drive. Well, this is not ideal. None of these recipes are really useful. I guess we'll choose the beacon, just because these two I'm very confident I will never need. This one, as I said, this one is amazing for early game, but we're well beyond that. This one, I've never needed to automate beacons, but, you know, why not? Now we've got 2 more chances to get the last alternate recipe that I would really like, and that's the alternate recipe for remote control units, radio control units. Production of encased industrial beams is not as fast as I would like. I'm sure that's all due to our lack of steel pipes. Between the episodes, I added storage containers for all of these products. I want to start building up a nice stockpile to have at hand, available for the construction of our mega factory. Definitely don't want to find that you're short on a component when you've already deconstructed the entire starter factory. That would be a bummer. Alright. Okay, there's the destination over there. So I think what we'll do, construct, deconstruct. Miter Mark III. Now you want a tier 4 belt, a rank 4, Mark 4. Coming out. Let's put a splitter here. Need a Mark 4 to get the full 480. Where's my power pole? Oh, there it is. It's kind of hard to see when it's nighttime. Kind of wish they would add lights, like industrial lights. Now we can use conveyor belt Mark III again here, because we're going to split this production in 2. And the Mark III belts are 270. And we only need 240. Okay. And then the other half of that output we'll bring this way. How much concrete do we have? 0. 0 concrete. Okay. So at this point we have most of the resources transported to our factory in some form. I think the only one we're missing right now is sulfur. So finding some sulfur will be a priority. That'll probably happen in the next episode. And aside from that, we'll just really need to travel around the map and beef up some of our resource throughput, either through the upgrading of the belts and Mark III miners on some nodes, or finding new nodes and adding them to train depots. We'll have to do both, because we need a really hefty supply of resources available to us if we're going full mega factory. We may even want in a little math section of one future episode just to map out our resource needs and our energy needs, kind of see where we're at and what we need to do. Should see the copper. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. Let's grab a Mark III lift. And go up this way. I know this is not very tidy, but this is all extremely temporary. We'll only have this setup used for just 2 or 3 episodes tops before we are tearing everything down to transition to our mega factory. This is far from the permanent optimal setup that we'll have for the mega factory. Alright, so we need to set up some copper smelting here. Guess first we should finish our aluminum smelting. We need to grab the bauxite. it's on the top. Yeah, the very top, which is ideal for clipping. No clipping. All right. Set the recipes. Okay. And splitters. Now we need some power. What kind of rate are we producing out here? 30 per minute times 4 is 120 per minute. So I'm not sure if the next combine is done. Okay, it's got to be done in an assembler because the recipe wasn't in the foundry. Okay, so assembler. We'll see the ratio here for Alclad aluminum sheets. 10 copper ingots per minute and 15 aluminum ingots per minute. So our aluminum ingots could support 8 assemblers. So let's go the full 8. Let's just really pump out Alclad aluminum sheets. There really is a high demand for them. I mean, ideally, if you don't care about resource loss, and because nodes in Satisfactory never expire, you can easily not care about resource loss. You know, all of your conveyor belts could be Mark Vs, and that would be a lot of Alclad aluminum sheets. So we'll give a little bit of space, and then we'll put, actually let's give more space. Really running out of time here. Let's get this done really quickly. Okay. One. Actually, we can just put them all in a row. It's not a big deal. We're out of resources. I'm gonna pause the video really quickly while I run and fetch the materials we need. Alright, we're back. Just had to pick up some rotors. 7 more assemblers. So that's 7. Yep, 1 more. Okay. And we need copper smelters. These would make an Alclad aluminum sheets. They need 10 per minute. Times 8 is 80 per minute for copper ingots. So I believe these produce at a rate of 30 per minute. Yep, 30 per minute. So 3 smelters will handle everything. We'll have way more ore here than we need. That's fine. Better to have too much. Copper, good. Just put 1 merger here. Oh, you're kidding me. Wow, okay. That's fine. No, that's not fine. Okay. Pausing the video one more time. I'm out of iron plates. Alright, we're back. Let's finish this strong. 1, 2. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we don't need to go that far. This will work. Let's put mergers outside of these. That's weird. You can't align a merger with a foundry because the output is offset. It's something I hadn't noticed before. But you can just align it with the edge of the foundry. Alright. Well, that's awkward. Didn't align that, but this is very temporary, so I'm not going to get bent out of shape about it. The copper will enter from this way. Let's quickly get some splitters. There's really just not enough standing room in here to see what I'm doing. Gonna run a little over an hour this episode. Apologies for that. Let's select the recipe. Really may even be worth automating heat sinks before we transition to the mega factory. Something to think about. And now mergers. I would think heat sinks probably aren't necessary. It's just the Alclad aluminum sheets that are a real asshole to handcraft because of all of the subcombines. heat sinks are just the Alclad aluminum sheets and rubber. Pretty easy. Before we transition to the Mega Factory, we'll want sufficient resources to make around 50 Mark III miners. That's a lot of resources. So let's start collecting this in an industrial storage container. Grab a power pole. Okay. Now why are these flashing yellow and not green? No aluminum ingots. What's wrong? Oh. Yep, that would do it. Does that mean that all of those are moving the wrong way? Sure does. Sure does. Oh, what a pain. Okay. Easier to turn these around. Unfortunately, right now there's no easy way to flip the direction of a conveyor belt. That's something that'd be nice. Let's take a look. Alright, now the LED sticks are switching from yellow to green. And we have automated the Alclad aluminum sheets. Excellent. We'll need a lot of those. I probably won't even consider starting the Mega Factory until we've got 2 industrial storage containers full of these sheets. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Sorry it ran a little long. In the next episode, we'll be looking for a source of sulfur, and I'm probably going to set up several outposts, and we'll just quickly jump around those various outposts rather than spend, half the episode with me running and exploring. We'll just use the pause feature on the video so that all the important bits are covered and all the tediousness is skipped. Tedium? Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the series. and use the comment section for any questions or critiques you have. Until next time, thanks for watching.